Are you ready to take your striking game to the next level? Then you've got to get the focus ball. Dramatically improve footwork, timing, reflex, hand-eye coordination, head movement, and striking IQ. Lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere with the focus ball.
Hi, it's Winnie. You're watching DontaesBoxingNation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Man, I swear to God, it's like you just can't make this stuff up. This Canelo Alvarez news just continues to get more and more bizarre. So a couple days ago, it was reported that the WBC was ordering Canelo Alvarez to fight some no-name by the name of Avni Yildirim or something like that. The only thing you need to know about this guy is he lost his last fight, and before that, he was knocked out in the third round by Chris Eubank. A lot of people were under the impression that this was the opponent that the WBC had decided they wanted Canelo Alvarez to fight next. And the WBC, they basically cleared this up by telling Canelo Alvarez in the boxing world, oh no, Canelo, you're not gonna try to use us as a scapegoat. So they spilled the beans and aired out Canelo Alvarez and revealed that it was actually Canelo Alvarez that requested this Avni guy as his next opponent. Well, guys, it turns out this was such a horrible cherry pick that DAZN has rejected the opponent for Canelo Alvarez. DAZN is not even willing to pay Canelo Alvarez less money to take this fight. For those of you guys who don't know, right now, DAZN and Canelo, they're feuding right now over money because DAZN, they wanted to basically cut Canelo Alvarez's pay temporarily while we're going through this pandemic, and he's most likely going to be fighting in fanless arenas, or they're just not going to make the same amount of money they would have made before the pandemic. So that's what they're going through right now. And I want you guys to really think about this. I'm going to ask you a question. Can you think of the last time a fighter was on Canelo's level, a fighter today? He picked an opponent, and the networks, they completely rejected the opponent because of the weak level of opposition. Can you think of any fighter today that happened to? It's going to be hard for you to find one. But guess what? There is one. There is one. And this probably won't surprise you when I tell you who it is. You know who it was? It was Gennady Golovkin. Now, there was possibly someone else, but these are the only two fighters today on a very high level in the sport of boxing that handpicked an opponent that was so weak that even their own network rejected the opponent. That says a whole lot about Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, doesn't it? They're making history, but the wrong kind of history. So moving on, now that Canelo Alvarez is out of an opponent again, so moving on, this means he's not going to be fighting September 12th. Now DAZN is talking about bringing him back either October or November if they can accept one of Canelo Alvarez's handpicked opponents. So I'm guessing with the pressure that they're putting on Canelo Alvarez right now, he's going to either fight Caleb Smith or even Billy Joe Saunders. Maybe they'll get desperate like Canelo got when he was desperately trying to get Kovalev in the ring. And Kovalev turned down the offer. But Canelo Alvarez, he was persistent when it came to getting that fight. Maybe they'll try to get that Billy Joe Saunders fight and give him a little extra money, just like they end up doing for Kovalev. I'm telling you, man, the walls are closing in on Canelo Alvarez. It's starting to get to the point to where now even DAZN, they're getting sick of the moves that Canelo is making. And this means eventually he's going to start getting forced to face tougher competition more and more often. Instead of fighting 3 soft touches and then 1 tough guy, because that's been Canelo Alvarez's pattern his whole career. You know, he'll fight a whole bunch of soft touches and then out of nowhere, he'll step up in competition. He'll struggle, you know, either win in a controversy fashion or win by 1 point, and then he'll go right back to fighting the Rocky Fieldings. This has been Canelo Alvarez's pattern, but he's running out of time. He's 30 years old right now, and there is so many good opponents that are available. Once again, I keep telling you guys, Demetrius Andrade alone. Let's stop beating around the bush. We already know race sells. There is no doubt about it that if Canelo gets in the ring with Demetrius Andrade or even a Jamal Charlo or a David Benavidez, those fights are going to do big numbers. Way bigger numbers than Canelo versus Caleb Smith, Canelo versus Anvi Yildirim, or John Ryder. So if DAZN really wants to make some of that money back that they've invested into Canelo Alvarez, they will really force Canelo Alvarez to step his game up. And not just fight one of the guys at the bottom of the top 5, but facing the number 1 guy or the number 2 guy. Let's see what DAZN decides to do. Let's see what Canelo Alvarez decides to do. It's going to be really interesting when he makes his announcement. I'm leaning towards, I believe it's going to be Caleb Smith because he really doesn't have a choice. Caleb Smith is the weakest link of all the fighters that they offered him. DAZN has already accepted, and of course, Caleb Andrade. But we already know even the fights that they didn't approve, like Sergey Kovalev, that's not someone they was thinking that Canelo was going to fight. But because Canelo picked him, they allowed that fight. So my point is, even if they're not on the list of being accepted by DAZN, if it's a worthy opponent, obviously DAZN is going to allow it. They're going to approve the match. You got to understand something. The good thing for Canelo Alvarez is the bar is set so low when it comes to him facing competition. Because like I just told you, even though Caleb Smith is not the best guy at 168, he came off of a horrible performance against John Ryder. But if you compare him to a Rocky Fielding, then it makes you say, all right, well, thank God Canelo's not fighting another Rocky Fielding, right? Because the bar is set so low. So let's see what he announces. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. I always say on this channel, pay-per-view fights should actually be free. And now the day has come where I'm about to hook you up with an app where you can watch all your pay-per-view events, boxing, UFC, etc. for free. I want to introduce Block TV, the best internet streaming television app out there. They provide over 3,600 channels, including HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Stars. They have a massive video-on-demand library with over 40,000 of the new release movies and the latest TV series. And it also includes DVR, so you're getting all of this for $34.99 a month, and once again, that includes free pay-per-view. So this one right here is a no-brainer, guys, because back in Las Vegas, I was paying damn near $200 a month for my cable. Those days are long gone now. So to get the app, make sure you guys go over to getblocktv.com and put in my promo code and get 30% off your first month. You also get a free month for every friend you refer. The promo code is DBNation.